Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Now in this video, I thought I'd start doing videos like these like once a week or whatever. There's nothing to upload. Oh, that's my brother talking to one of his friends. Anyway. So versus like, who would win in a battle? Deadpool or Wolverine? So I'll explain the two characters and then their weapons and whatnot. So these will be brief, like, touchovers, like small origin story. So let's start with Wolverine because he's the oldest. So Wolverine, also called James Howlett or Logan. James Howlett's his birth given name. Logan's the name he gives himself after killing Rose, one of the many loves of his life. So he's lived for so long, he's bound to have more than one love of your life. So, born late 19th century, he has lived through 2 world wars, 1 Cold War. I don't think he's lived through a civil war. Anyway, his powers. So he has a healing factor that's unreal. If you were to chop off his hand, you could only chop off the flesh, but we'll get into that in a bit. If you were to chop off his hand would grow back, right? If you were to explode him in a nuke, which has happened, he has been exploded in a nuke, you'll survive. The flesh can come back from 1 drop of blood, right, and he'll look the same as he did before death. Right, so that's basically Wolverine, except from the reason that you can't, chop off his hand, only get the flesh off. Now his bones they're covered, like cased in this substance called adamantium. Now it's made up metal. Don't go searching your periodic tables, kids. Science jokes, yay. So adamantium is indestructible. The only metal stronger than it, I would argue that the only metal stronger than it is vibranium, because adamantium is just a strong metal, as vibranium can amplify magic, sound, whatever. How about that's another video? I'll explain adamantium and vibranium and see which one would win in a fight. Ooh, Black Panther versus Wolverine. Yeah, I'll do that. That's on the list. Alright. So, that's basically Wolverine. He's an old man. That doesn't look that old. Played by Hugh Jackman. And he's strong, fast, claws, acrobatic, bulletproof. Well, he is bulletproof. Bullets can't go through his bones unless bullets can't go through his ribs unless you shoot the gun to go through his rib cage. Anyway, Deadpool. So you all know who Deadpool is thanks to his film. His second film just came out a couple of weeks ago. I think a week ago from the filming of this video. Anyway, so his film just came out. And basically swords, guns, healing factor that beats Wolverine's. By that I mean Deadpool, if you were to chop off his head, he would grow back. As Wolverine, there are a few ways to kill him. Drowning. You can drown him. You can decapitate him. These are the 3 I'm going to mention. And then there's this blade. It's called the Muramasa blade. Now, Wolverine's time in Japan, when Wolverine spent some time in Japan, he married this girl. I forgot her name, because I'm not on the wiki page. This is all from here, because my laptop is updating. So I can't remember her name, but the Muramasa blade is a blade forged from a piece of his soul, and it is the only thing that can kill Wolverine. It's the only conventional weapon that can kill Wolverine. Anything else has to be something like water or... I suppose if you were to chop his head off, it would die a conventional weapon. But you understand what I'm saying. It's the only weapon that can kill Wolverine by one simple jab. He would only survive it by human medical help. Anyway, the Muramasa blade is currently in Cyclops' possession before he died in the comics. But anyway, back to Deadpool. Healing factor, better than Wolverine's, can survive decapitation. And the reason for that is, this is in the comics. This is a comic book battle, not a movie battle, which is why I'm going to bring this guy in, Thanos. So Deadpool is another Mistress Death, who wasn't in the film, but Mistress Death is basically Thanos' schnookums. I can't believe I just said that on camera. Mistress Death is the man... What, the man? Mistress Death is the woman Thanos loves. There, English out. So, she controls the realm of death, and she is the whole reason in the comics behind Infinity War and Infinity Gauntlet. Because he wants to impress Death with all the power he has, win her affection. Now, we know that's not in the films. Infinity War has been out for over a month, but I'm going to hold back on the spoilers until next week. So the moment we hit Sunday, I'll be doing spoilery Infinity War content for some reason. Just warning you. So, he was cursed by Thanos to be immortal, so he couldn't talk to Mistress Death. Sure, he could have a quick conversation before the curse set in, but he could never stay dead in death. Now, we learned that in Deadpool versus Thanos, which I'm pointing because I own that comic. And I'm pointing at the comic. It looks like I'm pointing down on the camera. That's me pointing down. I'm pointing to behind the camera. You don't want to see behind the camera. It's got homework galore and just clothes and just... It's not a mess. It's organised. It's just... It looks like a mess unless you don't know it's organised. I'm going to have to clean it now. I've taught myself into cleaning it. Anyway. I've told you weapons, guns, swords. Oh, look, it's on my t-shirt. And, guns, swords, guns, swords. Magic. Oh, he's got this magic satchel that goes on the back of his belt. And this magic satchel has any weapon in. So basically, if you can stick it down in there, if you can put the weapon in the satchel, and the satchel is endless. It's a bottomless pit. So he's got loads of weapons in there. So in his conventional weapons, his weapons that are at his go are 2 pistols, Desert Eagles they are in the film. 2 twin katanas, which break every other issue. So, they're in the comics, they know who each other are, and so Deadpool's going to start, so every Deadpool versus is one fight, then a team up. Or like, a team up, then a fight. Trust me, I know. Deadpool versus Thanos, fight, team up. Deadpool versus Hawkeye, team up, fight. Deadpool versus Punisher, fight, team up. Yeah. Anyway, so they teamed up, and then Logan has morals. Deadpool is starting to get morals in the comics, but it's all gone to Pound Town when that's not the right phrase to use, Owen. But anyway, it's all like, it's all gone after he killed Phil Coulson, Agent Coulson, you know him from the films. Because Steve evil Captain America, told him to do it because he looks up to Captain America along with Spider-Man and some other heroes. Now, these 2 heroes are friends, so they were teaming up, and Wolverine's not alright with killing a kid. Wade, Deadpool, pulls out his gun and he's like, "Sorry, Logie, I've got to do this." Poor Ryan Reynolds impression, but anyway. And then he's like, "No." Oh my god, even worse, Hugh Jackman impression. "No, Wade, you can't kill the kid, it's just a kid." And like, and then Wolverine pulls out a katana, and then Wade's like, "That won't do much." Then he slices at him, and then just like, then he's like, surprising at anything. So then he goes and puts his hand in the satchel, and Wolverine's like, "What are you doing?" And then he pulls out the Muramasa blade. He stole it off of Cyclops, because Cyclops is now passed away. He stole it off of Cyclops. Cyclops is like, "What?" No, not Cyclops. Wolverine's like, "How did you get that?" And then he says Scott, which is the first name of Cyclops, is dead. And then, so then Wolverine snicks, he gets his claw out, and then he slices at Wade, ripping his chest. Now this lets the kid go away. The kid is innocent, but it doesn't matter what happens to the kid. So the kid's gone. Now these two are in this unknown environment, and then Logan's going like that, catching the blade, trying to break it. The blade's invincible, by the way. It can't be broken, otherwise he would never have given it to Cyclops. He would have just snapped it over his knee. He's strong enough, it probably would have gone through him, but the adamantium would have snapped it. I'm getting too deep. So they're like there. But Deadpool, he's unpredictable. There's this villain called Taskmaster. I can never say his name properly quickly. So Taskmaster has swore to beat Deadpool in a fight. Deadpool is the only hero he can't beat, because he can like look at your fighting style and copy it. He can mimic it. So he has his own shield, bow and arrow, guns. I think the only Avenger, well, the only two Avengers that he don't have weapons off of are Iron Man and Thor, like copy weapons. But don't hold me to that, since his costume is ever changing. So is his arsenal. He can't beat Deadpool because Deadpool's unpredictable. Every move Deadpool makes is unpredictable. It makes for a really cool story, because Taskmaster always shows up in Deadpool stories like, "I failed to stop Deadpool." Now, anyway, so fight, cut, fight, cut. So Deadpool pulls out one of his katanas, so he's got Muramasa blade katana, and he's like, and he chucks them in the air, confusing Logan, and then he lets one of them drop, and he knows it himself to be the katana, not the Muramasa blade. So then Logan, he puts away his claws and he's like, "These are all fights to the death. All of these are going to be fights to the death. I don't care if it's Spider-Man versus Miles Morales, two Spider-Man versus, both of which do not kill. We'll say that they'll die at the end anyway. They're just two heroes that I know aren't okay with killing, that come straight to the head." Anyway, Captain America, he would have been a good one. Anyway, so fight, Wolverine's after throwing. Now we've got the Muramasa blade. Wolverine's like, "It's a 50-50 chance. What are you gonna do?" And then Logan goes like that, and then Wolverine feels it pierce him. On Wolverine's quick reflexes, he grabs his arm, but by then it's too late. It's gone all the way through him, all the way through his adamantium, and Wolverine starts choking because he's like dead, and he's like, anyway. So then Deadpool, just to make sure, stabs him through the brain. Winner, Deadpool. Purely because he's unpredictable. Definitely not because he's my favourite hero or anything. Definitely not. No, it's not because I'm biased towards Deadpool. Honestly, it was nearly a draw when I was thinking this up. I'm like, they could go slashing at it for hours. They're basically equals. But I decided not to make them equals. And I decided to make Deadpool win purely because of the Muramasa blade and like the stab through the head and whatever. So thank you for watching. If you disagree with me, tell me in the comments. You probably won't. No people that watch my videos are just my friends for pity. I watch it over and over again to try and get me 23 views to try and make me feel happy. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoy it, again, if you disagree, tell me in the comment. Share it with all your friends and family. Thank you for watching and goodbye.